first of all, take a look at what's happening around you, right? How many huge events can you say that have happened in the last week? How many huge events? And I'm not talking about just personal. I'm talking about global events that have happened. So what we talk about, because time is the measurement of motion. So when we go from feeling sick to healing, we're talking about the process that our body is going through. So we live in a society where we don't know how to heal. This is what gives us more anxiety, because one problem is stacked on top of another, is stacked on top of another, is stacked on top of another. So now you can't think clearly because you got 5 things processing. So it's constantly adding weight onto it. Your brain probably could have dealt with the first one. Your spirit could have dealt with that one. But it's not until, you understand me, you learn to deal with your level of pressure that you can get stronger, and then you stack on things to get better at it. So when you learning and going through processes of understanding what's happening in the world, start one at a time. My whole thing with going through any type of shadow work is understanding why things happen. If you can understand why things happen, right, then you can process it. You know, if you go through any place, in the government place in the world, they trying to process your paperwork. They got to understand, why are you here, sir? What's your name? They need certain information. And once they can put all the information, they can process your paperwork, right? It's a process. That's when you see some people and they're not the same as they were a year ago. And some people are the same because they haven't learned nothing in that time. You see some people, that's a growth mindset. They always growing because they always learning, processing and understanding. Some people, they done went through bad relationships. They got over it. They kept moving. The other person, they stuck. And then the worst thing is when you know what the lesson is and don't want to accept it. And don't forgive yourself for putting yourself in that position, you know? So there's people who have learned lessons, but they don't want to accept it. And some people are more comfortable in their trauma than they are in their healing. So you may be talking to somebody, why? Because that's what you talk to your friends about, the problems and how we put it on everybody else. You don't have circles of accountability where you say, you know what, we keep looking external of everybody who did us wrong. How about we come together as a circle about everything we did wrong? That's not victim blaming. See, you allow these words to get stuck in your head. That's taking ownership. And the moment you change the energy on that, now y'all got the ability to grow together. But when you got trauma circles instead of healing circles, you understand me? It just continues to revolve in that circle, and the relationships become based on that. You know, process is wealth. Now you can move forward with that learning, and you can grow in a better. And then the next step in that is what? Forgiveness. You have to learn how to forgive yourself. Once you learn how to forgive yourself, you no longer have to hold the weight. Forgiving yourself is dropping the baggage. Damn, you're right. I don't deserve to be carrying these bags around. I forgive myself for being ignorant. I forgive myself, you know, for jumping into a situation knowing that I was ignoring red flags. I forgive myself for picking the wrong partners. I forgive myself, right, for being ignorant or, you know, having traits of deceit or having, you know, wickedness or allowing my lower self to take over at that time. I forgive myself for tricking myself and not caring about my future self. And now I have to live the reality of the decisions that I made previously. So for me, you know, learning to forgive myself is one of my biggest keys. Why should I live my filth? I'm learning from that. You may be mad at who I was, but not who I am. But you want me to continue to live in the filth, right? So you can feel better about it. So you want me to feel bad about myself. I learn from that. I forgive myself and I move forward. And guess what I'm not going to do is make the same mistake. I'm not the person that made the mistake if I learned from it. I'm the person that grew from it, right? As a masculine man, this is masculinity. For me, masculinity is accountability, right? It's compassion, it's fearlessness, it's forgiveness. That's what that is. And so once you are able to understand that, then you're able to grow.